Yay! Time for another episode of Digging Up Positivity. April sure has been a big month for the furry fandom, and we have some lovely animation news as well. Plus an interview with a really awesome furry from Wales who often does amazing things not just for the local community but for charity as well. But first, the charities themselves. In the US, Furthermore has raised a wonderful $25,068.27 for the Frederick Center, an organization devoted to support and advocate LGBTQ people and their families so they can thrive and accepted and be affirmed. Amongst other things, BrowneePointz, or pear-shaped bear, has found his own place in the fandom, but unfortunately he is about to lose his mother due to cancer, and him being disabled does not help either. But the fandom came together and raised $45,477 to aid him in their time of need. 768 of our fluffy friends raised $3,946.91 during Gdakon in Poland for two charities. The Coyote Foundation, who is focusing on helping abused, abandoned and homeless cats, and the Guinea Pig Aid Association. At Bewhiskered, 2,138 awesome critters have banded together to raise $15,528 for Safe Haven for Cats. Since 1994, this organization runs a no-kill shelter and a low-cost spay and neuter clinic. During Las Vegas FurCon, 4,609 Happy Fluffs raised $21,908.55 for the LGBTQ+ Center of Las Vegas, where they are working hard for their local community, not just to let them strive, but to celebrate this wonderful, amazing community as well. At Furlingame, 825 passionate visitors raised a lovely $8,669.69 for the National Institute of Canine Services and Training, an organization that strives to connect as many life-saving partnerships as possible between the wonderful service doggos and the people who need them. April. The sunny days are returning and I had the pleasure to go to the Dutch town of Egmond aan Zee, where a bunch of fursuiters were raising money for Pink Ribbon, supporting the effort against breast cancer. Together we have raised $203.70. And in Germany, the 306 cute fluffs of Spring FurCon have raised $5,923.72 for the Schweinfurter Frauenhause, an organization that helps women who have been affected by domestic violence. This convention has been organized by Freuden auf zwei Pfoten, who has been covered here before. They have been busy setting up all sorts of events ranging from fur walks and furcons to visits to nursing homes and even children parties. Something tells me we're going to hear more from them this year. Back in the US, 1,903 fuzzy critters visiting FurcationLand have raised $10,584.81 for the Short Fox for Hope Foundation, who are working to empower, encourage and celebrate cancer warriors of all ages. One of the OG furry artists in the fandom. You can find her work in countless furry comics. Terrie Smith recently has been facing health issues, where she needs several heart procedures, amongst other things. And for her support, the fandom has banded together and raised $5,539 so far. In Dublin, Ireland, there was a new furry con in town, Ainmhicon. And they held their first edition, and right out of the gate they raised a whopping $14,633.70 for Seal Rescue Ireland. And all the way down under in Australia, we had Furry Down Under, where they raised $10,425.98 for Wildlife Empire, a dedicated wildlife sanctuary and rehabilitation site that is over 200 hectares. And in the Netherlands, we have a Tani The Lynx with a big heart. This time she has been raising money for the EEPvents. She has been collecting door to door and has raised €122.91. It has happened before. Due to corporate shenanigans, the work of many people do not get a proper chance to shine, or to shine at all. Coyote vs. Acme is one of them. Initially, this $70 million movie was greenlit for streaming, but due to a regime change at the studios and a rapidly changing market, they wanted to release it for the theater instead. But this required a marketing budget for over $30 million, and the studio did not want to see this as a true theater release. So they decided to can the whole thing and use it as a tax write-off. But thanks to noise from the animation community, and I do mean a lot of noise, the Warner Brothers decided to sell the release rights to Catch Up Entertainment. And this way it can finally come to the big screen. And the trailer really peppers it in where it came from. They even hint at something like the Acme files, nudging towards certain island files, and their tagline is, "The movie Acme does not want you to see." Well, that makes me want to check it out even more. I am just so happy that, just like another favorite of mine, Cats Don't Dance, this one did not end up as lost media as well. Many know Visipop from Hazbin Hotel and Helluva. However, before these there was a webcomic she worked on, Zoophobia. And the comic itself was a bit of a starting ground for her future projects. Many characters from this comic were used in Hazbin Hotel or were at least referenced in them. I personally first got into contact with them through the music video she made from Zoophobia, Die Young from Kasha. Eventually the website went down, the video clip disappeared, but it never quite faded away. And now, during Level Up Expo, they announced a fully new series from Zoophobia is in the works. Visi did say that it will be quite different from Helluva or Hazbin Hotel, with a more family-friendly tone based on their 2020 animated short from Zoophobia, Bad Luck Jack, which is still viewable on their channel, and it's linked below. This month, for Digging Up Positivity, we have a very special guest from Wales in the United Kingdom. Welcome to the show, Terrie.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I'm Theory. I'm a variety streamer and VTuber. I do most of my streaming and content over on Twitch. I am a Welsh streamer. I am based out of Wales, which is part of the UK for anyone who is unfamiliar with the British Isles. And I've been streaming for around 6 years now. It's something that I take a lot of pride and enjoyment out of doing. And since I've started streaming, that is kind of where I've really kind of connected with a lot more people, both from the kind of content creation kind of side of things, as well as the wider furry community.
So, when we're talking about the furry community, but did you get to know of the furry fandom before streaming, or did it happen during streaming? How did you get in touch with the furry fandom?
So I was definitely aware of kind of the furry fandom, the furry community, you know, since almost first time I was able to use the internet. You're going back kind of 15, 20 years at least now. So quite a while. I wouldn't say I was particularly active within the furry community. It kind of honestly took a little while for me to accept that kind of part of myself. It wasn't something I gave that much thought. I was very much I considered myself more of an anthro character enjoyer rather than an active furry as such, but certainly since being more in touch and kind of communicating with more furries and people within the fandom, and making a lot of friends, I've kind of opened up more about that side of myself. Really, the gateway to that was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which I think is true for a lot of furries. There is a bit of a joke that My Little Pony is kind of diet furry or furry light, but kind of getting into that fandom, that's really where I started with that journey. And kind of accepting that and being more open to that part of myself was within that fandom, and a lot of the friends I made within the My Little Pony community. And that's just kind of expanded that kind of experience and communication and friendships I've made with the wider furry fandom.
Yeah, because there's a huge overlap between bronies and furries. So,
there absolutely is, yeah.
I know a lot of people that got to know furries through My Little Pony, especially Generation 4. That is amazing to hear. Like what you mentioned quite often, besides being a part of the furry community, you're part of the Welsh furry community. While I do visit the Cardiff meet so now and then, can you tell a little bit about the Welsh furry community and what sets them apart from the rest?
So I've not been as kind of directly active within specifically the Welsh furry community. There are certainly some friends and members of the community that I know and I do speak with. There are a lot of those meetups now. You have mentioned Cardiff, obviously Cardiff being capital of Wales and probably one of the easiest and most accessible cities in Wales and in the wider UK. That is a natural place to start for a lot of Welsh furries. But there are a lot of communities within universities across Wales where people from across the UK and from further abroad as well, international students will meet, and you do kind of get a lot of that intercultural kind of mix and communication, because a lot of our, I'd say kind of younger furries around the, early 20s and so on, they may find a lot of their start and a lot of their kind of exposure and access to the community may start at university, and I do think that's true for a lot of people. So you've got Swansea University, Cardiff University, Bangor and Wrexham. So Cardiff and Swansea in South Wales, and Bangor and Wrexham in North Wales. So those would be kind of your main, I guess, kind of hubs for kind of the regions for those furry communities and meetups. What I would say with the Welsh community, the furry side of the community, is I'd love to say, we're very welcoming and very friendly, and that's what sets us apart. But that is very true of the wider furry community as well. Certainly from what I found, it is generally very widely and very broadly a very friendly, a very welcoming community, and that remains true within Wales as well. Probably the main thing you might find is you may get some furries possibly speaking to each other in Welsh, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to make friends and communicate. Almost everyone in Wales is bilingual, English and Welsh as well, so don't be afraid of some of the pronunciations and discussions if they do happen to be un-Gymraeg in Welsh.
Every time when I was speaking with Welsh furries, they immediately switched to just English in order to let me join the conversation. I felt extremely welcome, so that is amazing to hear. But what I also have heard is that you've been working on some charities.
Yes, that's right. So this year I took part in a charity event called Dathlu Gaming Cymru. Now, this has been going for about 6 years. It started with a Twitch streamer and content creator, Johnny Beard, who is based in North Wales. So he started doing charity streams, and he reached out to other Welsh creators and Welsh streamers, and this has kind of snowballed over the years. This year we took part in Dathly Gaming Comedy. The event was held over St. David's Day weekend. St. David being patron saint of Wales, so it seemed timing was very appropriate for that. So it took place over that weekend, and there were over 40 Welsh streamers took part in the event to raise money for a fantastic cause, a charity called Hope House, or T Gobaith.
That is amazing. But how much have you raised so far?
So I personally, as part of the wider group, so I streamed over the 2 days, over the Saturday and Sunday. So that weekend, I personally raised £575 towards the charity. As a group, we raised over £8,000 for that weekend.
Wow, that just warms my heart. That's so amazing. But was it just that weekend, or is it an ongoing cause?
So the charity and the actual donation pages are still active. So Hope House, the work that they do, they are a children's hospice. So they provide a lot of care and support for children with long-term and serious health conditions, as well as providing support to their families, to their carers. The work that they do is absolutely incredible, and it cannot be understated just how important that is within Wales and within the community. It's something that I cannot put words to, just to how amazed I am at the work that the people that work at Hope House do. They're always, taking donations or a financial aid or gift. Can certainly do it through Dathly Gaming Comedy. A lot of our charity pages are still live, though the event may be over. That doesn't mean the work has technically stopped. If we can continue that positivity and that support coming in, it just means the absolute world to us and to the fine folks over at Hope House.
I will put the URL to this page in the description. Yeah, it's wonderful, and I hope that the next editions will raise even more. But from what I hear now is that you've been busy with the charity stream together with some other friends. I mean, that's how we got to know each other, through Surika, a lovely meerkat that's also from Wales. With this wonderful journey that you had so far, do you have any recommendations for any new furs who just joined the community, who are just rolling into, let's say, Wales and want to meet up with the furs?
Yeah, so I'd say, don't be afraid to kind of get involved. Doesn't have to be kind of diving into the deep end. It can be just it could be just something like if you happen to catch, say, a furry streamer or content creator, just leaving a comment on a video, or just kind of saying hello in the chat and having a little bit of that engagement with them. It's a good way to both support your favorite creators as well as to kind of touch base and just have a little bit of that introduction to the wider community. I think that's certainly a way that a lot of people do find their way into this wider community and making those friends. It's not necessarily about that parasocial or one-sided relationship with the streamer, though. You may find common ground with people within that chat, within that online community. Just kind of take things at your own pace, but don't be afraid. Don't let that stop you from kind of reaching out and just introducing yourself a little bit. The vast majority of furries and people within this community you meet will be incredibly welcoming, incredibly friendly, and really just be yourself. Don't feel like you need to try to impress anyone. Just bring your own light and your own personality, and you'll find a space where you do belong.
That is a wonderful advice for that. And with this, I would like to thank you very much for this interview, for taking time out of your busy streaming schedule, and hopefully we can raid each other somewhere in the near future.
Yes, fingers crossed, and yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for having me. This has been absolutely fantastic, and I just want to say I think what you do with bringing up the very positive side of the furry community, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's something I hope you continue to do for a long time, because it's so important to get that kind of positivity out there.
Well, comments like this make sure that I do. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And a big thank you for staying with us till the very end. I will be streaming just about every Monday on both YouTube and Twitch. And the following amazing critters are going the extra mile for supporting me on Patreon, Twitch and YouTube. On Patreon we have Manic Knux, Taros Blackburn, Tantru McNally, Cosmic with a K, Ishnula, Els Dekkers and Scorechaser. And on YouTube we have the following channel members: Bafni Media, Eorek Burningson, Joey and Mavi, Longtooth, Rex the Warhorse, Wiver, and on Twitch we have Svex the Mischievous Fox, Lady Lian, Light Nympha, Falconio, Hanzana Janssen, Yabuyin, Longtooth, and Jake RG. The next episode of Digging Up Positivity will be out on June 6th, and I hope to see you there. Stay awesome and all the hugs!